What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to our lady's favorite YouTube channel. If you're hoping to have some positive news come into your day when we're talking about Juventus, we're talking about the Mercado, well, let's just slow it down a little bit real quick. I don't know what to say, except for right now, it feels like the club does not care about you, does not care about the hope in the future of actually winning a damn thing moving forward, and they have no vision. Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today it is Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. And of course, I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every single day. Before we do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Also, if you could, just a quick reminder, other channel that I'm doing over here, that Now We Can Talk Like Men podcast channel, having a lot of fun with some friends, talking about whatever you all want to talk about. You let me know if you want to hear certain conversations be brought up. But what we're doing, as always, we just announced yesterday the winner of the Bianconeri Zone shirt giveaway that I was doing on that channel. If you could, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. The next 100 that we hit, so 200, once we hit 200 subscribers, we'll be giving away another Bianconeri Zone shirt, as well as once we get to 500, we will be giving away a Juventus jersey. So make sure you do that. If you want to be interested in the win, really appreciate the support, go ahead and jump over there now and hit subscribe. Now, without any further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about the news, and let's talk about why I'm so pissed off and why I am not happy. I'm sure you've probably heard, if you haven't already, been scrolling Twitter, scrolling anything like that. If this is the first time you hear it, I apologize. I am not going to mince words about how I feel and the way that it seems that the club is progressing, or lack thereof, regressing, really regressing in what they do and what they care about, and when it comes to actually being competitive moving forward. It doesn't make sense. First off, let's just go ahead and talk about the midfielder situation. We know about Adrian Rabiot. More than likely, it's about 99.9999% heading out of the club, going probably to the Premier League, somewhere like that. Don't care about his future. But what I do care about is the future of who's going to replace him. First news topic up is Gazzetta dello Sport reporting on this situation with Frattesi, which they go on to say that Inter and Milan right now are ahead of the race for Frattesi. Juventus would like to include players in the deal, Sule, De Winter, something along that line. Sassuolo, though, is looking to collect close to 40 million euros. Now, I'm not going to get into the semantics of, oh, Juventus need to push to go get this guy at all. I'm not going to do that. I like Frattesi. If they get Frattesi, fine, I'd be happy with it. But my main point is right now, what have we been talking about for years? We've been doing this channel for a couple of years now. For years, we've talked about one player, one guy who's out there, one guy who we have been horned up for. I don't know how else to say it. One guy who would be a great addition for the club. Obviously, I'm talking about Milinkovic-Savic. Why are you not going after him? That's the guy who's interested in coming to the club and that you've been making goo-goo eyes at for the last better part of 2 years, at least. Actually, no, it's been much longer than that, but at least while I've been talking about it here on the channel. Anyway, when it comes to Frattesi, if Inter and Milan want to put it on the table back and forth with each other, they can do that. I don't care. Frattesi, we can move on and we can look about the other options. The second option, though, would be the Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, and the smart option, if you're asking me, that would be the guy that we talked about leading into the summer. From last summer, we always knew at the end of last summer, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic would be the guy we'd be going after this coming summer. Let's make it happen. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Juventus have no intention of paying the 40 million euros demanded by Lotito for Milinkovic-Savic. The agreement with the Serbian and his entourage has been complete for several months now for a 4-year deal, but the one with Lazio is missing. And that's okay. If you don't want to pay 40 million euros, I completely understand that. Maybe 30, maybe whatever it comes to in the end. But I think you need to press for a guy like Milinkovic-Savic. This doesn't come every day. Moving forward, though, is Gazzetta Sport follows this part up and says the key to unlocking the Savic situation could be an exchange. Not with that of Zakaria, who we know is back on the table once again after Chelsea decided not to purchase that one, but who does not particularly warm Sadi's heart, but rather that of Rovella, whom Allegri would like to test in training camp. But a sacrifice to get the Serbian could also be made. This is interesting. I don't know. I'll be honest. I guess is bad for doing a channel like this. I don't really have a take here. And what I mean is, I liked Rovella. I wanted to see him get playing time last season, but like he never got his opportunity, really. I guess I could hope for opportunity this season. But honestly, if you're asking me, I mean, if you're going to put the 2 and 2 together, I would take Milinkovic-Savic more than likely. That's who I would probably take. Understand Rovella could have a big future for the Italian national team as well for Juventus, but I gotta have hope that you're actually going to utilize him first and that you're not just going to loan him back out anyway. So that's my issue there. We continue on, though. Let's go ahead and cover the Zakaria situation, what's going on with that one. Fabrizio Romano reporting, understand that West Ham are among clubs that are actually interested in signing Denis Zakaria. He's back. I don't know why I was saying his name wrong. I apologize. Actually, I don't care. I don't need to remember how to say his name correctly. He ain't staying here. But he's back to Juventus after the Chelsea loan. West Ham asked for information on condition of the deal, but there are many clubs in the race. Zakaria is not in Juventus' plan for next season. So that's pretty cut and dry. You're not going to have to worry about him moving forward. But now this brings me to the crutch of my frustration, all the issues and why I'm yelling and why I think that Juventus has no vision moving forward. And that is because of this report that came out today and kind of hit everybody like a bus, like a bus coming down the street, if you will. And that's not a great analogy. I apologize. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I'm not happy about this. Fabrizio Romano reporting exclusive. Juventus have also asked for information for Thomas Partey after Saudi clubs also approaching the midfielder. Saudi clubs are preparing a bid of 40 million euros because they can just throw money at the window. They don't care. They got that oil money. They're living. They can do whatever they want. Let them have them. Anyway, in 3 installments, but nothing agreed yet on the player's side. Juventus are informed, waiting for Rabiot's future too. We know Rabiot's future. Like, get the bleep out of here. Rabiot ain't coming back to Juve. He's not going to stay with Juventus. Let's forget about the Rabiot future. Second part of this, sorry, there's 3 parts of this, okay? Gianluca Di Marzio follows this up saying Partey, the player, has already given the okay for a move to Juventus. The deal could be closed between 18 to 20 million euros. For the Ghanaian, a 3-year contract would be ready. And then following it up, finally, Fabrizio Romano comes back out, says, understand that Thomas Partey considers Juventus as a priority. He hopes to stay in Europe. Talks will follow as there's still no official proposal. That's fine. It can be his priority. It should not be Juventus's priority. Arsenal are prepared to let Thomas go, but important proposal will be needed after the Saudi approaches. I hope that they do not have an important proposal for them. If Juventus goes after Thomas Partey, who is 30 fucking years old, a 30-year-old player that Juventus is going after, and I understand we talked about ages all the time. No, we do not need an injury-prone player too that was out. I think Julian, I'll give him credit here. He brought it up, I believe, from April through July of 2022. He was out with injuries. He was injured. He didn't even get on a pitch, at least during that amount of time. We're going to trust our future to this kind of player. No. And so I guess this takes me to another part. Like, what is our vision? What is our plan? What are our hopes and dreams when it comes to Juventus right now? Are we just comfortable to settle into the muck of where Juve is? I understand we had to lower expectations given no Champions League, no even Europa League, and then also the money you're losing out there, the sanctions that now we can talk about. I mean, yesterday, the news story, but that's a whole different topic. Today, we're just talking strictly on the transfers, but Thomas Partey is not the answer for Juventus. If they go after this, at this point, I would just call Juventus Helen Keller because they're deaf, dumb, and blind, and they don't care about the future at all when it comes to this club. The people in charge, I don't know. I want to know, like, what exactly are you thinking? Why is this the move to make? Nothing about this player excites me. 30 damn years old. This is a wrong decision. I don't know. That's it for my soapbox. I don't know. It's just, this is a terrible move. It seriously makes me question my fanhood a little bit. And you know what? You all holier than thou can come at me. I've seen people on Twitter, like, if you say one negative bleeping thing about Juventus when they're making dumbass decisions left and right, yet you want to come over here and say that people need to not talk negatively about the club. When the club does stupid shit, you should call them out for doing stupid shit. This would be stupid shit. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the club shooting themselves repeatedly in the foot and then asking, what's happening? Why are we bleeding out? Why are there no fans in the stands? Why are people not wanting to buy season tickets? Why do they not? Who doesn't want to come see Thomas Partey? Who wouldn't love that? Why wouldn't they? It's ridiculous. Anyway, there we go. Thomas Partey, whatever. Hopefully there will be some leadership for the future that'll give us a different plan moving forward, and hopefully a plan that does not include Thomas Partey in those negotiations. Moving forward, though, we can talk about some new leadership, and that is actually new leadership, the brother of an old player. Obviously, Romeo Guidetti is reporting that Claudio Chiellini has signed his contract with Juventus. He'll be the new sporting director of the next gen. So congratulations to the Chiellini brother and their family. Obviously, that's cool for him. Moving forward, though, the actual good news that you guys are wanting to hear, and that has been reported and moving toward out there, Romeo Guidetti also says that Giuntoli, as he's been released or is about to be released by Napoli, however Trash Man, Swamp Man's going to do that. Giuntoli will soon be signed by Juventus, and he will be the next sporting director here at Juve. Hopefully, when this man gets here, and hopefully it won't be too late. I mean, it's June 22nd, for God's sake. Hopefully it won't be too late, and hopefully he will right this ship and make smart decisions moving forward. One of the reasons, the crutches of my frustration and my anger is going to be the next story that's coming forward. And this is why I hope a guy like Giuntoli would come in and have some reason and be able to talk with people and not lose important key pieces for the future. And that's why I'm bringing up this topic right now. And this one right here, Giovanni Albanese, who is reporting that among the top European clubs reported to be on Chiesa's trail, the first decisive offensive could come from Liverpool. Juventus, with no certainties on the player's renewal, are taking a sale into account. I understand when Juventus decided to stick with Max Allegri, you kind of proven that you don't care about winning, that you don't care about success, and you sure as hell don't care about trophies. And that's why guys like Chiesa are being a little bit perturbed and don't want to stay and be coached by a bum. That's it. They don't want to be coached by a bum coach, a coach that's a dinosaur who's past his time. Yet this is why we have frustration and worries when it comes to Chiesa, guys that I think that I have passion for, that are the future of the club, that are the future of Italy, and you're going to potentially lose them because of stupid decisions. At this point, this would be a shot in the heart for me. Losing Federico Chiesa, a guy who I view as like the next star of Juventus, as long as he stays healthy, that would be a killer for me. It would be soul crushing. To be honest, I'm just being frank. Losing Federico Chiesa to go to play in the Premier League and play for Liverpool would be massive. Like I don't know how else to say it. It would be soul crushing. I'm repeating myself at this point. What I mean to say, though, too, is you look at the Sandro Tonali news, him leaving Milan, where he was propped up to be the next Andrea Pirlo, and that he was going to be Pirlo, the next Pirlo of Milan, and they just want to go cash in on him and send him to Newcastle. Wild news, frustrating, and also just kind of, to me, it's a referendum on the Serie A and how undervalued, or maybe not undervalued, maybe properly valued at this point, and how low it's become, and how bad of a situation the Serie A has become. I don't know what to say. I guess I could give you guys some good news before we go out of this story, and I will give you some good news. And that's because Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting that Zaniolo has prioritized Juventus as his next destination should he return to the Serie A. First, Juve want to understand the fate of certain players, including Chiesa and Vlahovic. Only afterwards will they think about making a move. I'm just having fun. I'm kidding around, obviously. We'll see. I mean, Zaniolo, I think when you're in the situation you're in, I would take a Zaniolo now. I wouldn't want it to be at the cost of a Chiesa. Vlahovic, I could maybe get through because Vlahovic is one that makes sense. I think we've kind of prepared ourselves for him to leave. And also, he has kind of disappointed Juventus fans a lot this last season. He was not the player he should have been, and he had been healthy throughout it. There's no excuses for the performances that he gave the club. Chiesa, again, I don't want to get Zaniolo at the cost of Chiesa. That would be, that would be killer. That's it. That's what I have for the news today. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's not the happiest, but that's my personal opinion on the news stories out here. Do you disagree with me? Are there some of you that are loving the Partey train and you think Thomas Partey is great and you're doing stupid dances about Partey? I understand. You have to, one thing to keep in mind, this ain't 3+ years ago when we were talking about Partey. This is now. This is washed, old news, going back to the well for old, used, dried up players that aren't going to bring it for the club. Time to move on, look toward the future. this ain't it. Let me know your thoughts, opinions in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon, stay notified for all of our latest videos. If you want, you can follow me at JustinSofro on Twitter. And of course, you can follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me.